Good morning or good afternoon, writers, depending on when you are watching this video. This morning, I want us to look at a strategy that journalists use to help deepen the quality and the depth of their writing. So, something that journalists do, in addition to creating a plan for their writing piece, is that they do research. So I decided to write about the ribbon cutting ceremony that happened at the Elliott Upper School almost a year and a half ago now, on October 19th of 2019. So as I started to work on creating my plan, I started to think about who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to interview to learn more about what went into getting the funding for this building? And I immediately thought of Principal Tracy and Miss Moshella as possible people to talk to. So I thought about a day that we might connect on Monday. And then I started to brainstorm some questions that they might be able to shed light on. So I'm really curious about where the funding came from. I'm really curious to hear about how this new building is going to help improve student learning and help narrow the achievement gap. I'm really interested in 21st century learning and how this building is going to help us prepare for the jobs of the future. So I jotted down a few questions so that when I go into that interview, I'm prepared and I know exactly what I want to ask. The second piece that I want to work on is thinking about how to do research, right? I was not at this school when this upper school was being built or even when discussions were happening about building the upper school. So there's a lot that I don't know. However, with the internet and with firsthand accounts, I can find out a lot of information about this. So, I want to share a clip from a news story that was done on the opening of the Elliott Upper School. And we'll take a look at a little snippet. And I'm going to use a quote from here to help me with my writing piece. And there was a quote that I came across of Mayor Marty Walsh talking about what this school means for Boston. So, friends, I think it's really important as I'm preparing to give background information about this school to include a quote from important people like Principal Tracy, like the mayor. And Mayor Marty Walsh says, "This is our vision to bring to Boston, that the majority of the buildings in Boston were built before World War II. I'm sorry, the majority of school buildings, and that every kid in BPS deserves to be in a building like this where their learning can really be enhanced." So, friends, as I did my research, I looked at articles that were on my topic and I tried to pull out quotes that I think were really important. For example, I found one quote that talks about the history of the Elliott in the North End, and it describes the Elliott as the heart and soul of this community. I think that's a really important background information for my readers to have because they understand the historical significance of this school. So for today, I want you to focus on creating an interview plan. What are the questions? Well, first of all, who are the individuals that you need to speak with who can shed light on your topic? And think about what research do you need to conduct? If you're writing about a sport, perhaps it might be helpful to offer history about that sport. If you are writing about perhaps why virtual learning, it would be helpful to provide context. Why are we in virtual learning? So think about who you might talk to and think about the background information you need to gather, create a strong news story.